everyone, welcome to EduTab and also welcome to another government scheme session. So the scheme that we are covering today and which was recently in news, it is Prime Minister's Street Vendors Atmanirbhar Nidhi, and its short form it is SVANidhi. So from the full form itself, we can have a brief understanding what the scheme is all about. So it talks about making the street vendors Atmanirbhar, that is self-reliant. So what are the important dimensions that you need to remember from examination point of view, and also why the scheme was in news, everything we are going to cover in this particular session. But before starting, there is a small surprise for all the aspirants who are trying their best for the regulatory bodies. So we have come up with these one-stop guidebook for all of you, in which everything that you need to remember, you need to know is mentioned. For example, let's look at the RBI book. So here everything, for example, first the organization you want to join, you would like to know what it is all about, right? So what is RBI and what its role in Indian economy, right? So everything has been mentioned. Apart from that, what is the hierarchy that is present in RBI, you would want to know that, and this is mentioned there. So once you are intrigued with all of this, you would surely want to join the organization, right? So for that, we have a separate column. So when you will join the organization as a manager, what are the tasks that you need to do? And for that, you would have to give examination. So for that examination, you must be having doubt. So are you eligible or not? So that is mentioned in this, that what is the eligibility criteria. What are the cutoffs that goes on in the previous year tenths? Apart from that, syllabus, it is something that you would want to know about it so that you can start preparing. So that is also present in this in a comprehensive manner. And also here a 6-step guide, it is also mentioned, where you can read and you can start with the preparation in a much better way. So everything is mentioned here, salary and whatsoever you want to know, so that you do not have any confusion when you start preparing. Okay, and not only for RBI, we have similar one for NABARD as well, and also for SEBI. So if you want to download these ebooks, the link, it is present in the description box below of this particular video. So now let's start with today's session, and first let's understand that who are the street vendors. See, street vendor, it is the worker who do not have a proper shop. From the picture itself, you can look at that people, they just come, they come, either they put their product in the tailors or maybe at the side of the road or anywhere else, and they just come, they sell, and in the evening they wrap up the product and they take the product along with them at their home, because they, of course, they do not have any shops, right? So these are known as the street vendors. And in COVID, as all of us were affected, in fact, so does the street vendors. So what the government did, they came up with a scheme, so that, because see here, there were no consumers during the lockdown, right? So they did not have any profit. In fact, they went in loss. So that is why, to restart their business, and for some of the street vendors to upgrade their business, this scheme it came into existence, in which loan will be provided to these street vendors, so that they can improve their work. Okay, so this is about the scheme. And now let's start with the basics. Launch year of the scheme, it is 2020, and it falls under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Now, along with this particular ministry, there's one more agency which are going to look at it, and this is the SEBI. So because see, we are talking about the giving loan to the people, to the street vendors, right? For that, there should be some agency which will be monitoring that, right? So that is that will be done by SEBI. Now, what is the aim of this scheme? So the aim, it is to provide with affordable working capital loan. What does it affordable means? That which they can they can give back also. So providing with affordable working capital loan to street vendors for their holistic development, for their complete development and economic upliftment. Okay, so that they can enhance their business. So for that, this particular loan has been provided. And who are the target beneficiaries? So it talks about all the street vendors. And these street vendors, we are not just talking about in the urban areas, but we are also focusing on the semi-urban areas as well as the rural areas. But there is one condition also, because this scheme was launched during the COVID era, and also this scheme talked about to the street vendors who were affected because of the COVID, and that is why here's a time that has been set, that to all the street vendors, either in rural, urban or semi-urban, but those who were engaged in this particular work on or before March 24, 2020, only those will be profited under this particular scheme. Now tenure of this, so the tenure it is December 2024. Okay, and the type of scheme, it is what? It is a center sector scheme. So it what does it mean? That it is fully funded and will be taken care by the central government only. Now talking about eligible state. So before we looked at who will be the target beneficiaries, and they are solely the street vendors, and there is also a date that has been mentioned. And see what happens, how the government will get to know. So there is a certificate that is being given to these street vendors that they can actually sell the products, and with the help of that only they would the government would get to know that if the street vendors they were before or after the COVID era. So eligible states are, see, beneficiaries we know street vendors, but of which state? So only such state will be included, states or UT which have their notified rules and schemes under a act. So there is a act, and only in the states where this act it is present, only beneficiaries of such state, that those will be eligible. And the name of the act, it is Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Act 2014. And also see, beneficiaries of Meghalaya can also take part in this because in Meghalaya there is not this act, but they have their own state Street Vendors Act that goes on, and that is why it's a separate mention that the participants from Meghalaya can be a part of this scheme. Now, eligible lending institutions, so we said that we will be providing with loan, the government will be providing with loan, but there should be a medium to it, and those medium will be the lending institutions that are there, right? So, these street vendors, they can get the benefit from any scheduled commercial bank or a regional rural bank or a small financial bank. Apart from that, they can also take the benefit from the cooperative banks. We have the non-banking financial companies and microfinance institution. From any of these, they can avail the benefit, and of course there is no collateral that they have to give. Okay, so no collateral they would have to give. That security will be given by whom? The security will be given by SEBI, and that is what would be the function of it. Okay. So, and also see self-help groups, this time the first time it has been included, that is self-help groups will also be part of the scheme. Scheme in the sense of the lending I am talking about. Next we have the objectives. So what are the objectives? First is to facilitate working capital loan up to 10,000. So we said that affordable working loan will be provided, and it is rupees up to till 10,000 street vendor they can take loan. And there is a provision that if the vendor is giving timely repayment of it, so in that case this upper cap of the loan, this limit will be extended, and it will become 20,000 and 50,000 in the second and third tranches. What does it mean? That if when taken 10,000, so the vendor has done the repayment timely, so next time when he'll take loan, he can take up to 20,000. And then also if he has done the proper repayment at the particular timing, then he can take loan up to 50,000. So this upper cap will keep on increasing depending on the past repayment, repayment of the earlier loans. Next is incentivizing regular repayment through interest subsidy. So now this is for the ones who are giving proper repayment at the particular timing, proper timing. But to encourage them to give back the money properly at proper time, specific timing, for that there is a incentivizing. Incentivize also that will be made by the central government. And what will happen in that? So through interest subsidies at the rate 7% per annum. What does it mean? That if the vendor is repaying the loan timely, in that case he will get an interest subsidy at 7% per annum. Only in the case when he is paying he is repaying the loan timely, only in that case he will get the subsidy. So this will encourage the lenders to sorry, not lenders, but yes, to the vendors to give back the loan at the proper time. Next is reward digital transaction. So what does it mean? That the government they would help them with keeping the QR code and online transaction, and they would also give reward if more and more transaction is done by the those online transaction. And for that there is a cashback that the vendor can earn along with the regular payment that he gets. So that is up to rupees 1,200 per year. So what does it mean? That for every transaction he'll get either 25 rupees, 50 rupees. So this random digit number money repay cashback he will get. Okay, and this will also promote the digital economy. Next we have about there is no penalty on early repayment of loan. See, it happens in some banks that if you are repaying your loan prior to what is the desired time period that has been established, so you have to pay some penalty. But in such case, if the vendor is giving back the loan before the time that is being provided, in that case there would be no repayment, no penalty that will be charged on the vendor. Now, on timely and early repayment, there is one more provision that the vendors are eligible for enhanced working loan, that we've already understood. In the next cycle, they can take up to 20,000, after that 50,000, right? So next is SEBI will manage the credit guarantee. So guarantee which will be given to bank on behalf of vendor, that will be done by SEBI. And how it will do so? So it will do so through credit guarantee fund trust for micro and small enterprises. So there is a fund trust where money is being kept, and if the vendors are or the beneficiaries, they are not able to give back the loan to the lending institution, in such case money will be taken out from this fund. So this will give assurance to lending institute also to lend the money, and of course that would help the beneficiaries, that is known. So here credit guarantee fund trust for micro and small enterprises, from this the fund will be given to lending institute, or the surety will be given to that. Now, mandatory documents that are required to access the benefits, those are your Aadhaar card and voter identity card. Apart from that, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, they have also launched socio-economic profiling of these beneficiaries. So a proper website is there in which profiling would be done of them. A complete profile would be made of all the beneficiary under the scheme, and also about their family. And why is it done? So this will be done so that whatever be the other socio-economic upliftment schemes that are there, and if the beneficiary and or any member of the family, or if all of whole of the family it falls under that particular scheme, so they would be aware about that, and they would be included under those schemes. So based on the profile data, so the benefits of various eligible central schemes would be extended to them, because their proper profile is there. So it would be easier for them, for the government to track if the people of the family or the beneficiary, are they eligible under some other government scheme or not. Next is Quality Control of India has been appointed as implementing partner for the program. So Quality Control Council of India, actually it what it does, it checks whether the particular department is doing the work properly or not, and that is why it has been made as an implementing partner, so that the program can run smoothly and efficiently. So these were all the key features, and this was the news all about. So there is no SS specific news about PM SVANidhi scheme, but recently in a speech, our Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs, what he has done, he has mentioned the name. So it happens that if a scheme, even if it is mentioned and was recently, this scheme is of 3rd October, right? So there are chances of them asking in examination, and that is why we covered it today. So that is all in this particular lecture. So if you are new to our channel, kindly subscribe to it, and you can also join our Telegram channel to get the PDF of this and every lecture that we provide here on YouTube. So see our next scheme, that will be on Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, because that was recently news, and you have asked me to make a video on that. So if you want me to cover any more schemes, you can always comment it down. Feedbacks are always appreciated. And yeah, that is all. We'll meet in the next video. Until then, all the very best for your examination, and thank you.